Welcome back to Our Community. Susie Thomas here with Max Barton from the Canton Museum of Art. What you were describing are experiences, especially when you're talking about a coffee tasting or a tea tasting. We're talking about more senses than just our eyes going in and looking or our ears going in and listening to a symphony or so forth, but that the arts are a full-blown experience. One thing that we all experienced as a community was just sorrow at the loss of this canine who was a police officer, correct?
Yes, correct, yes.
And killed in the line of duty, and that was Jethro. Tell us about that event where the portrait was unveiled.
Let me see. It was wonderful. We wanted to do something to be involved, and we asked the artist who was doing the piece. And again, a lot of this unfolded on social media. Social media is a great way of connecting people and places. And our staff is a dog staff. And we occasionally, on Mondays when we are closed, there might be the occasional dog curator that comes in and helps. So one of our dogs comes in.
Can't imagine who might that be.
I can't imagine. And so it's always great. And let me say, we were all very, very affected by that back in January, when the artist was going to present the final portrait of Canine Jethro to his partner and his family, Officer Ryan Davis. We said, would you allow us to host the event? And that was all we were. We were just the host. This was the artist from the Canine Heroes Portrait Project, and it was Officer Davis. And those were the only two groups that were really connected. The museum was a place to bring everyone together. And it was a great honor for us when Officer Davis said absolutely. And the Canton Police Department had a wonderful, wonderful group of its officers there on April 9th to support Officer Davis and his family and to see this portrait unveiled. And our community came out big time as well. So we had almost 200 people there on April 9th. And I know when my curator and I unveiled this piece, as the artist was talking about it, it was very moving. Very moving. And it was on display at the museum through the opening of our Art in the Animal exhibition. It was graciously on loan to us from Officer Davis's family. It has since been picked up, and I'm sure it is home. And as I came to learn from him, everything that comes in about Jethro normally ends up in the daughter's bedroom. So I'm sure that's where it is now. But we were thrilled to host the unveiling, and it meant so much to us, and it meant so much to him to show such support from our community. And it was great to see everyone turn out.
That was one of the things on loan. Many of the exhibits that you show are traveling, or for one reason or other, on loan for a time, like the St. John's Bible was at that time. You have an amazing permanent collection that people can see at any time, or it also gets taken down and put up, but you have a lot of permanent pieces that rotate, I guess, would be the way to say it. Tell us about that.
Well, the permanent collection is focused on American works of art, and it's in two parts. It's works on paper, so that's primarily oils and or watercolors. Our big focus is watercolors. That's what differentiates our collection. And then the other part is contemporary ceramics from the 1950s forward. So the permanent collection is right now about 1,200 objects that's been built over the years with just that focus in mind, and all being American art. And it is currently valued at about $25 million.
Wow.
And so when I have people that come on tours and they want to know, well, tell us about this collection, and you tell them how many pieces, then you tell them what it's worth, and they look at you and they say, that's here in Canton? Yes, and it's here all the time. Even when the museum's empty, if we don't have a show in at the time, or we're changing shows over, that's always there. And we're endeavoring to always have something up on display that everyone can come in and look at. At any given time, there's maybe only a sixth of it out. So you can keep coming back, because we structure shows that have their own themes throughout our entire collection. The one that's up now that goes along with Art and the Animal, which is our featured show, the permanent collection show is called Field and Stream. So it's everything, pieces that are out of our collection representing animals, nature. So it's all a focus on nature's beauty in the collection. So those shows are always up. They're always available. So that's wonderful for us to have. And that collection is really a gem. We just had a review of the Art and the Animal exhibition in the Akron Beacon Journal from Anderson Turner, who is the reviewer there and also director of galleries at Kent State. And Anderson said, the permanent collection is a gem, and it's one reason why you, meaning the audience, should support the Canton Museum of Art.
Yes. We're speaking with Max Barton. He's executive director of the Canton Museum of Art. Because you have only get to show 1/6 of your permanent collection at a time, you personally have gotten to know is everything in it. Do you have some favorite pieces?
I have some favorites. There's several Clyde Singer pieces. Clyde Singer, a favorite son of Ohio, and I keep getting asked, are we having a Clyde Singer exhibition again soon? The last one was 2008.
Yep.
These things take a bit of time to put together. You don't want to do them back to back or within short time frames, but something like that would probably be on the horizon because he is so very popular.
Yes.
And that would be amazing to do. Other pieces of the collection, we have Winslow Homer. We have Andy Warhol's in the collection. John Singer Sargent, an American master of watercolor. My favorite piece in the collection, however, is an Andrew Wyeth Lighthouse. And it's just an amazing piece to just meditate on.
Why? And that's it. What is it about art that you see photos, you see people in a museum just standing in front of a piece for a long time.
You get to meditate. It gives you a little moment to pause and takes your thoughts away and kind of clears your brain as you try and focus on what you're looking at, what you're taking in, or maybe you're placing yourself in the image somewhere. So it's really wonderful.
Very, very cool. All right. Well, we do not want to let our time go by without talking about Art Gone Wild. What is going on here? Because it's a big collaboration.
Art Gone Wild is really huge. With our Art and the Animal exhibition that's up, which there's over 60 pieces from the Society of Animal Artists currently featured in the lower galleries, and it's a beautiful exhibition to come explore. Families will love it, at our opening, there were over 300 people there, members and non-members.
Wow!
And it really brought families out. There were lots of kids, which I just love having all around. But Art Gone Wild is one of our special events put together alongside that. It is Saturday, May 14th.
So tomorrow.
10 a.m. to 2 p.m. tomorrow. So come out early. It is a free family fun day. Free family fun.
Wow.
Things that we want the museum to be. Free family fun.
Wow.
And
exactly.
So,
what a great way to introduce all the kids and to get them invited and interested in the arts and engaged in the arts.
And this will be it's both the Cultural Center for the Arts and the museum. So taking up the whole footprint of the Cultural Center for the Arts. And we have a lot of great activities all under one roof. And from the museum perspective, we're doing a scavenger hunt in the galleries. So we'll have some things to let you go through the galleries and see how many owls you can find, how many birds of prey you can find, how many otters, things like that. We have a Pets Gone Wild photo contest on Instagram. So if you follow us on Instagram at Canton Museum, the deadline for that is July 17th. And if you post your picture on Instagram with the hashtag Pets Gone Wild and share it on Facebook as well, we're going to have one winner, and you get 4 complimentary tickets to the Akron Zoo.
Wow.
And that'll be announced on July 17th. So Pets Gone Wild at Canton Museum on Instagram is the pet photo contest. The Massillon Museum is going to be working with us on this as well. They're bringing out an adaptation game, so there's going to be a hands-on make and take. The Akron Zoo is coming out to do wild animal art, so they're going to have live animals creating art. I believe there's a gecko. I believe that there's an armadillo. I don't know who else is coming, but we know that we have to have a kiddie pool and everything else so that they can get their feet wet or their tails wet or whatever and start creating art.
Back up. They're going to be like tromping through the paint and
and making their own pieces. I've seen some of them. It's going to be great.
Oh man, well, actually, anything I created would probably look very similar to what they're going to do. So
you're welcome to come play in the kiddie pool.
Oh
Susie.
my goodness, that does sound like fun.
So that's from the Akron Zoo.
This is tomorrow as well?
This is tomorrow.
Oh my goodness.
There's a whole
Free.
lineup of groups. You can find it online at cantonart.org. You can see the whole lineup of who's going to be there. But Canton Symphony Orchestra is doing their Elusive Moose Symphony, which is a woodwind trio. The Stark District Library is doing a Watch the Story Unfold with a hands-on activity. The Humane Society of Stark County is doing live animal adoptions. Stark Parks is featuring a live animal presentation, Birds of Prey. The Beech Creek Botanical Garden Nature Preserve is doing Growing Up Butterfly, so live butterflies and caterpillars.
Oh, I love that.
There's just a lot that's going to go on. So if you love animals and you love free family fun, come down to the museum, come down to the Cultural Center for the Arts tomorrow, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. There will be food available. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
We've got your weekend planned. This is just
you're done.
awesome.
You're done.
Ages that you recommend for this?
It's something for all ages.
Wow.
There will be something there for all ages. So
amazing. All right, and give us your website real quickly.
The website is cantonart.org. If you go, you should find it on the homepage or under the events tab. But it should be on the homepage.
Sounds awesome. The other thing, before you leave, I really want to make sure we talk about what you do for high school students is amazing. The scholarship program, or that's one of my favorite exhibits throughout the year, where we see the amazing talent of our high school students displayed. Can you talk about that a little bit, like when that will be, or should we just be watching the website for when that comes up?
Usually that comes about every March. We just closed out our 25th year of doing it. Mm-hmm. This was the first year that we were able to increase our scholarship awards, our financial awards to our students. It's based on independent judging, so we get judges that come from all around. This year, I think we had from the Akron Art Museum, we had a judge. From Kent State Stark, we had a judge. But this year was sponsored by the Columbus College of Art and Design and Mount Union and Malone and Kent State Stark and Walsh and the Myers School of Art. And it was really amazing. We had huge entries, and our awards this year increased. Let's see, our first place award was $1,700, $1,750.
Wow.
Our second place was $1,250, and third place was $750. Those had been lower in years past, but sponsorship stepped up this year and really said this is a great thing to support. And it's great for us because we're showcasing the talent of our high school juniors, seniors, and some of them are ready to go off to college. And that monetary award, no matter what college they pick, they don't have to pick one of the sponsor colleges, no matter where they go, I know that award is appreciated, and it's something that we do for our community. And I look at it as all of us in the museum and all of us in our regional universities and colleges doing something great for our community, for our kids that are here.
It truly is. It's really exciting and very impressive to see the artwork that the high school students produce. And
it's always great. We all, as we're hanging it, and they're in the galleries. They're in a museum. We are always amazed by a lot of the talent that we see.
Can you give us really in just a little thimbleful of something else coming up, because our time's just really almost gone? Or do you suggest just going to the website?
I suggest going to the website. I will point out that summer art camp is coming up.
Awesome.
And classes as well at the museum. Many people who might have forgotten or might not know, we do classes every quarter. They're almost always ongoing. Pottery, other ceramics, jewelry, watercolor. There's a watercolor workshop coming up. But summer art camp, which is appropriate for ages 6 to 8, 9 to 11, and 12 to 14. And those are coming up at the end of June and in July. So those are always great. So I encourage people, go to the website, investigate. Better yet, come down to the museum, see for yourself. Ask questions.
Max Barton from the Canton Museum of Art. Go to cantonart.org for everything he's been talking about. Thanks so much for joining us in our community.
Thank you.